our only learning goal today is I can't multiply decimals. Okay, you being able to multiply them correctly, and then I guess maybe also being able to say, does my answer seem reasonable? Okay, is this a reasonable answer? So we have to line up our multiplication products, our problems vertically. What's vertically? What does that mean? Wait. Up and down. Vertical is up and down. So line up vertically as if they do not have decimals. Don't leave them out, but just kind of like pretend they don't have decimals in them while you're lining them up, and then multiply. And then when we're done multiplying, we place the decimal in our answer. So this is number 1 on page 33. Will you verify that I wrote the problem down right on our handout? Are we doing the right multiplication problem? In activity 2, excuse me. In activity 2. Okay? Are we doing the right one? Okay. So when we line these up vertically, notice we're lining them up so they're underneath. We're just lined up nicely in columns so that we can multiply nicely. And we don't care that the decimal points are above and below each other because we're not adding and subtracting. So let's not worry about filling out any of this over to the right here yet. Let's do our multiplying. Okay? So do you remember how to multiply decimals? Anybody? Hands up. Do you remember how to multiply decimals? Yeah, you got this? Okay, then you can go ahead and go to work. Those of you who don't, you can follow along with me. We start with the 8, we take it times the 5. 8 times 5 is 40. Oh, this is where our multiplication skills, you might, I guess if you have to, you're going to get out your multiplication grid to help you out. 8 times 5 is 40, we're going to have to carry a 4. 8 times 8 is? 64. 64. 64 plus 4 is? 68. So we put an 8 here and we carry the 6. And now we take 8 times 0. What's that? 0. And 0 plus 6 is 6. There's our first line of multiplying, right? Our first line of multiplying. And notice we're not going to pay any attention to the decimals while we're doing this multiplying. Now, when we go to multiply the next number in, which is a 0, in this case, I'm not really sure how your instructors taught you how to do it, but when I was taught how to do this years and years and years ago, we just moved in one space. We didn't put anything in this space right here underneath the first place value here. We would just start right here in our second row. So 0 times 5 is 0, 0 times 8 is 0, 0 times 0 is 0. So now we're lining up though. We still have to line up nicely. And now we're going to do what with those 2 rows? Add them together, yeah. So we're going to add them together. So we have 0, 8, 6, and 0. Okay, now we go back and we pay attention to the numbers we were multiplying with, the factors they're called. We have 0 and 8500ths. How many places behind the decimal? 2. Put a 2 here. 8 tenths. How many places behind the decimal? 1. 1 place behind the decimal. So now we total up how many places are there behind the decimal? 3. 2 plus 1, there are 3 total places. So it says now count the number of digits behind the decimal points and move that many to the left. So we're going to say, this is just in our notes. You don't have to do this every time in your homework, okay? This is 1 place, 2 place, 3 place. Where would our decimal point go? Right before that 6. Right before that 6. Okay, now we're going to what we call clean up this answer. We might not see the answer in the answer bank like this. So what can be cleaned up out of there? There's only 1 digit that we're really going to clean up out of there. Cheyenne?
0 in front of the decimal.
Not that 0 they probably will leave there, just so because it helps us make sure we can see the decimal point. That's the 0 they might leave there. Okay? What do you think? Caden, which 0 or which digit can we get rid of?
0 to 68.
Yeah, the 0 at the end, that 0 they will most likely get rid of and say our answer is 0 and 68/100ths. Now, yes, sometimes we write that as 0.68, but typically that's not how we would see it in the answer bank. They would have the 0 in the ones place, okay? Now, one of the things we're supposed to be able to do is we're supposed to be able to determine if we have a reasonable answer or not. Okay, these are kind of tricky though to try and make sure that you have a reasonable answer because you're supposed to round and estimate. So this one, and typically what we want to do is we want to round them to like a whole number. So 8,500 would round to what whole number? Katie? No, what whole number? Harley? What whole number would 8,500 round to? No, whole number. Cheyenne? No, whole number. Kaden? 1. Whole number, 1. 8,500 would round to the whole number 1, and 8/10 would round to the whole number 1. It's closer to 1 than it is to 0, isn't it? 8/10? Well, then 1 times 1 is 1. No, not 2. It's 1 plus 1 is 2. But 1 times 1 is 1. So now we would say, well, our answer should be close to 1. Well, that's not necessarily very helpful, but is this closer to 1 than it is to 0? Yeah, it is. Okay, so that's one way to think about, is our answer reasonable? The other thing is to be able to say, if I'm taking a number less than 1 times another number less than 1, I better get an answer less than 1. I better get a product less than 1. And we did get a product less than 1. That's not as sure of a bet, though, because we could have gotten 0.068 and said, well, that's still less than 1. So I think sometimes the more important thing is we make sure we count up our decimal points correctly and place them correctly in our product. Okay? Questions, anyone? Any part of that you want to talk about? Okay, let's go down to this next one then. What's the first thing we got to do? They gave it to us lined up horizontally. What do we want to do first then? Jenny? You guys say it louder for me. Line it up vertically. Okay, 53 or 5.3, 25, or also what we're really multiplying our decimals. Again, what we're doing is we're lining them up, though, according to as if the decimal points weren't there. And now we're going to do a multiplication problem. So we start by taking the 5 times the digits in the upper row. 5 times 3 classes, 15. Carry our 1. 5 times 5 is 25 plus 1 is 26. Be neat when you're multiplying decimals. If you're not neat when you're multiplying decimals, it's not going to go very well. Okay, and now we'll move to the second digit in the bottom row and take it times all the digits in the top row. We come in 1, so in other words, we don't fill this spot. We start here. 2 times 3 is 6. Do we have to carry anything? No. 2 times 5 is 10, so the 0 goes here and the 1 goes right next door, doesn't it? And now we are going to add. Okay, so 5 plus nothing is 5. 6 plus 6 is 12. We have to carry a 1 this time, don't we? 1 plus 2 plus 0 is 3. And nothing plus 1 is 1. 1,325, is that our answer? No, what do we have to do? We have to, how many places do we need? We need 2, don't we? Because we have 1 decimal point here, we have 1 here, so we start here. There's really an imaginary 1 right here. So we go over 2 places, and we say our answer is 13.25. Let's put answer. Because do you think that one can be cleaned up at all? Are there any digits we can get rid of in that one? No digits to get rid of there. Okay, after we decide if this is reasonable or not, we're going to transfer our answers to the workbook. Okay, we already took care of number 1, but we forgot to put it in the workbook. So you can go do that. Number 1, remember, is 0.68. We're going to leave the check parts on that first one undone. That was a little tricky and kind of confusing. But this one, I think we could do a check problem in our books for. What does 5.3? What whole number does 5.3 round to? David? 5. So in our check problem, we're going to put a 5 on that line. Why don't you put 5 times, multiplication dot, times, what whole number should we round 2.5 to? 2 and 5/10 to? What's it closest to? If this was in your grade, on your grade sheet, Kelia. 3. We're going to round 2.5, 2 and 5/10 to 3. So we're going to, in our check problem, we're going to take 5 times 3. And then we're going to say, what is 5 times 3? That equals 15. How do you feel about 15 compared to our answer 13? It's not gonna be, right there on it, but is it in the same territory? Yeah. What if we put our decimal point in the wrong place and we had 132.5? Would 15 compare to 132 very well? What if we put our decimal point between the 1 and the 3? We had 1.3. Would 15 compare to 1 and 3/10 very well? No. But 15 and 13, they're pretty close to each other, aren't they? Okay, so we would say we have a reasonable answer here, don't we? Okay, questions? Okay, let's go practice some more of them. Number 3 on the back. Again, it's going to be important that we just put the, sometimes this is the thing to do. Just line them up without the decimal points like that, so that you line them up nicely. And then go stick your decimal points in after. And make sure you can see them though. You don't forget that. They're there. So then we go to work multiplying. 9 times 6 or 6 times 9, I mean.
54.
54. So we put a 4 down here, right? Carry our 5. 6 times 4. 24. Add that 5 to it, we get 29. So we're going to put a 9 here, and we're going to carry a 2. 6 times 0. 0 plus 2 is 2. Okay. So notice, I still got the column thing going here. Do you still have columns going? Nice columns going? Keep it neat. Okay, now we will, how many of you, maybe this is what you learned to do when you were multiplying? Did you learn to put a place value of 0 here? Anybody learn that? Yeah, so if you're putting a 0 there, that's okay. Yes, Carly? Or an X there, you can put an X here, okay? Anything else that maybe a teacher taught? Like I was taught just to leave it blank.
Well, I was taught to put an X, but then Ms. Carlson taught us to put a 0.
Okay, so, if you're going to put anything there, I would probably have to agree with Mrs. Crevison that a 0 is probably the best thing to put there. If you want to fill it in with something, put a 0 there, or leave it blank like I do. 2 times 9 is, for now we're moving over to the 2. 2 times 9 is 18, so we put the 8 down, and now this time we're going to we'll cross that one out, we're carrying a 1. 2 times 4 is? 8 plus 1 is? 9, so we're going to put a 9 under that 2, and this time we're going to carry a 2. Oh, wait a minute, we don't carry anything, do we?
No.
No, what was I doing? I don't need to carry anything. I don't know. It's been Monday, it's been with me all day here, it's been awful. Okay, 2 times 0, that's our one we have left. 2 times 0 is? 0. So, now we're adding 4 plus 0? 4. Do we have to carry anything? No. 9 plus 7, or 8? 17. We need to carry this time, don't we? 9 plus 2? 11 plus 1 more? 12. We have to carry 1. 1 plus 0? 1. Okay. And how many places do we need to have for the decimal point placement, Kelia?
2.
1,
4.
2, 3. Okay, maybe we better put this. 2 places, 1 place, Altogether, we need 3 places, don't we? 2 and 1, we need 3. So we start here, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to say that our answer is 1 and 274, what? Thousandths. And this is our answer. Here is our answer. Okay, we'll put that one in your workbook. How do you feel about this one? Do you think there's a way we could check this one, maybe? I think there is. What, instead of a whole number that 0.49 is closest to, can you give me a fraction that 0.49 is close to? Fraction that 0.49, 49 hundredths is close to. What fraction, Harley?
49 hundredths.
No, what, but a nice one that's going to be easy to work with, you know, like we don't want to have to really multiply with too much effort. Okay. 49 hundredths. What's after 49, you guys?
50.
50. So what would 15 hundredths simplify to? 50 is what part of 100?
Oh, half.
Half. 50 is half of 100. So we could say that this is about a half. So you're doing it, your check problem in your workbook here. We're going to say that 49 hundredths is a half, and we're going to say that let's just leave that 2 and 6/10. I bet we can take half of 2 and we can take half of 6 and say that half of 2 and 6/10 is half of 2 is
4.
1. Half of 6 is 3. So this would be 1.3. Does it seem like we have a good answer? Yeah, it does, doesn't it? 1.3. This one would round to 1.3 if we rounded to the nearest tenth, wouldn't it? So again, we can sometimes, fairly easily check to see, does our answer seem reasonable? Because the most likely thing we do wrong in multiplying decimals, well, depends on how good your multiplication skills are. But typically the most likely thing is placing the decimal point in the wrong location. Okay? Okay, let's go multiply another one. We're going to do 12. Well, I have a mess here. 12.01. Oh, remember what did I just say to you guys to make it so that you'll line them up nicely? And then I'm not doing it, right? So 12.01. 0, 2, 3. So we line them up nicely. Then we'll go back and stick our decimal points in. There and there. And we will, this time they do, our decimal points even line up, but not always do they in multiplication. Okay, so we start over here at digit 3. 3 times 1 class is?
3.
3. The small class. Do we have to carry anything?
No.
No. 3 times 0 is? 0. Do we have to carry anything?
No.
No. 3 times 2 is? 6. Do we have to carry anything?
No.
Oh, good deal. 3 times 1 is?
3.
3. I want you to stop right now and notice something in my work, and it better look like that on your papers. Do I still have nice columns going? Uh-huh. Do you still have nice columns going? Mm-hmm. Set yourself up for success, in other words. Now, again, we can either put a 0 here or we can leave it blank. Your call. And now we start with the 2, and we multiply. 2 times 1? 2. 2 times 0? 0. 2 times 2?
4.
And 2 times 1?
2.
2. Started a new column, didn't we? Okay, and now we are going to, we got to go in 2 places this time. We got 2 spaces, either leave them blank or put zeros in them. And now we're going to multiply with 0. 0 times 1. 0 times 0. 0 times 2. 0 times 1.
0.
Oh, don't you love multiplying by 0? It's so easy. Okay, add these together, right? Okay, go ahead and add. See what you get. And again, boy, you should have nice columns just following all the way down here. We should be able to take a ruler and draw nice little vertical lines making all these columns. Okay, let's go up here and make a decision. How many decimal places there?
2.
2. Here, 2. So 2 plus 2, how many do we need? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be right there, so 0.27623. Should we clean that answer up at all? Harley?
Isn't it 2.076? Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Good catch. That's only the 10th mistake I've already made this Monday morning. It's, maybe you should go home and get out of bed, go back into bed and try getting out again. How about that? Do you like that better?
Let's all do that.
Okay.
Yes.
Can we clean this one up at all?
No.
Uh-huh.
No.
Uh-huh.
No.
What can we do?
Wait.
What can we do?
Oh, no.
Or Caden? No, we're not. I didn't say wrong. I said clean up. In other words, get rid of anything that they might not show in an answer bank. Sylvia? The front 0. Yeah. Because there's already something that is a value right here in the ones place. We can get rid of the 0 in the tens place. That is probably how we would see the answer in an answer bank rather than that 0 left in front. So we have to make sure that we understand what can we do. This is called cleaning up an answer. Not rounding it. We're not rounding when we do this. We're cleaning up. Okay, is this one that we could probably check to see? Oh, I think so. Let's do a check problem on this one. 12.01. What nice whole number would that be? 12 times. Oh, what? 2300s. What fraction is 2300s close to? A nice fraction that we like. Cheyenne? 1/4. 0.25 is exactly 1/4, and that's pretty close to 0.25. So really what this is saying is, what's 1/4 of 12? What's 1/4 of 12? Or how many 4s can you take out of 12, really, Kate? 3. 1/4 of 12. 3, 3, 3, and 3 make 12. So 1/4 of 12 is 3. Is our answer, would that round to the nice whole number 3? Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? Okay. So again, there are some that are just a little friendlier than others and useful to try and check. Okay, you multiply this next one now. Place your decimal, and if you're waiting on me, will you try a check problem? See if you can think of some way to check maybe this one. Okay, I did it twice. And the reason I did it twice, you didn't have to do it twice. I just wanted to see how many of you lined it up this way, the first way. The way that it was given horizontally, that's the way you lined it up vertically. Can we do that? Yeah, I just proved that you can because you get the same answer either way. So we can line it up that way. Or we can have them trade places. Why? Anybody know why they can trade places? Because multiplication lets us. 2 times 4 is what? And 4 times 2 is? They can trade places, can't they? So if they trade places, we still get the same answer, don't we? Just our work looks a little bit different. How many decimal places do we have this time? 2. We have 2 altogether, so we have to move it back 2 places. So regardless of which way the work is, and so I end up with 1.82020? No. What should it be? 18.20, right? 18.20. Okay, can that be cleaned up? What might they do in an answer bank to this one? What might they do, Kaylee? What might they do with that? You have any idea? Okay, Sierra?
You might cross off the 0 at the end.
Yeah, they're going to cross out that 0 at the end and they're going to say, here's very possibly how you might see that answer instead of 18.20, they'll leave it as 18.2. Or in other words, 18 and 20 hundredths is the same as 18 and 2 tenths. They're the same thing. Okay, so now anybody come up with a good way to check this one? Okay, I'll help you out. What's 0.5? What fraction is that? 1/2. 5 tenths, which is 1/2, right? Times, let's make 36 into a nice whole number. What whole number should we make 36? I want it to be even, by the way, because we need half of it. Hayden? No, I don't even want to go that high. Well, that would make it pretty easy to take half of, though. So I would agree with that. We could do half of 40, or we could do half of Harley.
4.
Half of what?
4 because the higher.
We're trying to figure out what to do with 36.4. 36 and 4 tenths. Cheyenne? 36. That's an even number, so we could do either of those. Okay? Half of 40 is 20. Half of 36 is? No, it's actually 18. Okay? So that one is a little trickier for us. It might be easier to do the half of 40, huh? Either way, do we seem like we have a good answer? Yeah, we have a good answer, don't we? Okay. So, I want us to go into workbooks now to the Applied Skills page. I want you to go to the top. Okay, we were already there. Let's go to the top. We didn't do this first, we're going to do it now, just get a little bit more practice. And where would we put? It says, circle the answer, the correct answer to each of the problems, okay? So, in number 1, okay, all you have to do, you guys, let's look at it. All of them have, in number 1, all of them have a 0, 6, and a 3 in the answer, right? Am I right? So what do we have to do in these? Just do what? Count up the decimal points in the multiplication problem. So how many decimal places are there in number 1 altogether? 3. Let's put that below it. So what do we have again for this one? I don't think I have a page for this one. 0.3 times 0.21. So here's what you could do in your book. You could show this is 1, this one is 2, 1 plus 2, 3. So in our answers, we need to go find the one where we would have, the decimal point would be three places from the end. And it's the first answer, isn't it? 0.063. Okay, you go ahead and finish the rest of those for me, and then we'll compare answers.